What all too common trait do you find extremely unattractive in the opposite, or same, sex? People being obsessed with their social media presence. Inflated egos. Entitlement. Incapability of being humble and make fun of yourself. Thanks y'all for the gold and karma. Over talking. Not having a give and take in the conversation. The whole let me push all your buttons. You're wrong. I'm right. I do it because I think it's funny to rile you up shtick. Then repeat it immediately. When they think that their taste in music makes them a superior person instead of just having different tastes. Applies to both genders. Edit. Lack of compassion. They only seem to care about themselves. Self-absorbed behavior. The Kardashian housewives of syndrome. You are not the star of some reality show. Stop acting like it. The I'm an asshole and I don't care if people call me an asshole attitude. People who do things for clout and don't actually care for being genuine until they need something from you. The gaslighting. On any level. So, I'm to blame for your behavior? I'm to blame because you couldn't possibly be wrong or held accountable for your decisions? Edit. Whoever you are. Thank you for the gold. Anyone who takes any advice. Disagreement. Shouting at their partners in public. Playing hard to get. If you like me just tell me. Stop beating around the bush. Edit. I am a girl. Talking others to make themselves look better. Feeling the need to post on social media constantly and pretending that they don't care about it but obviously care a lot. Messiness and having poor hygiene. I was recently told by a friend that his mom thinks of me as a clean person. And this isn't uncommon. Either. People always tell me how I don't stink like all the other guys. My secret? I just shower daily. Not to sound superior. Because believe me, I'm not. But it's so easy to be clean. And people do notice. Edit. If you have a financial, skin, or mental health issue. 3 things that I never thought I'd end up grouping together. Comma then of course that should be taken into consideration. Everyone says they want their partner to be super career ambitious. Screw that. I say put in your 40 hours then chill. Hard to get. Turns to hard to want real fast. As a woman I've had a lot of people tell me I'm too easy. Countless men and women say I come on too strong. I can respond to texts in a decent time. Have sex quickly if I'm feeling it. etc. The irony is, I just weed out the people who are playing games really quickly because I don't play games. If they wanna chase they can go find a girl who wants to be chased. I don't have time to waste manipulating my way into an unhealthy relationship. Littering. You'd be surprised how many people don't give a and throw out their car window. It's disgusting. Edit. I'm glad so many people feel strongly about littering too. Narcissistic. Being oblivious to different economic circumstances. Desperately trying to be unique. Unlike everybody else. I don't try to be unique. Just general toxic jestless behavior. No. I do not want to sleep with the barista because they asked my name for my order. Yes. I was told to treat as I wanted to be treated as a child, so I will be polite and smile to others from time to time. This does not mean I want to shag every human being I interact with. The alpha mentality. Anytime a dude calls himself an alpha male I always think of Pinocchio when he says, "I'm a real boy." Chewing with your mouth open. I'm just too crazy IO. Guys that find general housework to be demeaning and beneath them, so they expect women to do it for them. While they sit there, doing absolutely nothing. How can someone be comfortable watching someone do absolutely everything for them? This isn't typical. But I've actually heard a guy try to explain that this behavior is fair because if there was ever a home invasion he'd be the one that would have to take the bullet and fight the guy off. I mean, a hypothetical situation that will probably never happen is the reason you can act like a pathetic douche every day of your life? WTF. Being rude to wait staff. Toxic positivity. I need to be able to feel bad for a moment when I am dealing with something crappy. It helps me get through it. I dislike people pleasers too. Be kind but don't be a doormat. The inability to admit they are wrong or when they apologize and then justify their actions. Always on their phone. This annoys me so much. I want to talk to someone while looking at them. When they are constantly on their phone it makes me feel like I am talking to myself and it's awkward as. Acting stupid for attention. Fake tans. Like the ones where they look orange. Pushing you to do something you don't want to because everyone does it and it's fun. When people feel bad for or think it's weird when others do things alone. Just because I enjoy going to restaurants to watching movies alone doesn't mean I'm lonely, especially when it's an acquaintance and they ask me to sit with them or talk to me for an extended period. Just let me read my book in peace. GD. The telepathy tax. Partners who hold it against their so when they fail to anticipate and fulfill their unspoken needs and desires. Acting the martyr. Refusing to do anything they think is considered more feminine cause they think it's gay. Not washing your face doesn't make you straight. It just makes you crusty. I may have some bias since I do lean towards more feminine guys. But there's certain limits. Man. Acting like being a bitch or being edgy is cool. Being needy and acting like you're the only human in their life. Like please give me a line break, I didn't adopt a 37-year-old child. 444 months. Thanks. Men bragging about being violent. Bar fight Saint SI honey. Lack of emotional intelligence or ability to be able to take a step back from a situation to see things at all sides but instead take everything personally and only hear part of what someone said. Then shut people out, preventing anyone from discussing a resolution to a problem as a team. Instead of sitting down and have a discussion over a problem they disappear for weeks then make relationship decisions all on their own. Come back. Then tell you how they're changing the relationship dynamic without your input, without talking to you about it. So, blocking out communication before making important decisions. When you're treated like until you prove yourself. When they can't take no for an answer. This is a pretty broad statement. But a lot of guys have trouble taking no. It can go from slightly annoying to really scary in a heartbeat. Edit. By broad statement I mean that it goes for both genders. However, because I am a girl. For me, it's the girls who constantly say I'm ugly and then you tell them they aren't. And then they go no. I'm really ugly and it just goes back and forth. I can't stand it. No. You're not ugly. People just avoid you because you smell bad. I'm straight but a trait I find annoying in other men is false confidence. A book I once read described it better, but essentially a guy will to give you a definite answer even if he doesn't know. Then they won't own it if they're wrong. Constantly posting on social media for attention. Smell and poor hygiene. No one smells just because they are a dude. They smell because they don't clean themselves. More of a general trait but extroverts that think there is something wrong with you for being an introvert. Chill people, I am not depressed, I just don't like going to the bar every night. I find more enjoyment staying home playing video games or reading a book. Going out with people is exhausting. Nothing wrong with me, I just don't need people around me all the time to be happy. People who put you on the spot in front of others is a way to get you to agree with them on something. My former best friend would this and it ticked me off. E.g. asking if I wanted to go to a concert, eat something, etc anything, or why not, in front of people. And then me having to justify my reasons and being put down if they didn't find my reasons sufficient enough. Treating the waiter like crap at a restaurant. Not taking the compliment. Like, if I say your hair looks good today, and you say, haha, no, it looks like, and I try to tell you again that it looks good. If you disagree the second time, I will tell you that fine. I agree it looks like. You. Marlene. Edit. I guess I'll call it selfishness. Whatever makes people disrespectful and ungrateful. Lip fears. It's super popular right now, but it just grosses me the out. Spitting. Just grosses me out. A general lack of curiosity towards the world. Playing hard to get. A negative attitude. The badass bitch mentality. Long fake nails. People who smoke. I just can't tolerate the smell. Bad breath. Women thinking they deserve to be treated like a queen. Especially since they have not achieved anything or have not accomplished anything. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Trying to make their flaws look like cute quirks instead of working on them. The need to take pictures so often and record everything. This should never have been normalized. Edit nevermind. I take it back. As long as you're doing it to preserve memories and not just solely for the purpose of social media likes. You do you, baby. Smoking. Disgusting. Being judgmental. So many people are assholes these days. I just want to feel like I can be myself without having to worry if they're gonna think negatively about any random thing I do. Walking. Slow. Elbows. Damn. We all ugly. Not being teachable. As in can't be introspective or when faced with new information cannot budge on their initial opinions conclusions. Is unattractive. It comes off as stupid and arrogant and makes me feel like I'm dealing with someone who is unreasonable. People using mental health issues for attention. Depression isn't like a pair of socks that you can just put on one day and then take off the next. And no, Sally, you do not have OCD just cause you lined up 2 pencils on a desk. Or used pink to color code your calendar on Wednesday. Cause trust me, I have it and sometimes it makes my life. Rigidity on gender norms. Men should be able to cry. Women shouldn't be expected to cook every night. Men don't need to be the breadwinner. Women shouldn't be afraid to be assertive. If who you are and what your skill set is just so happens to fall into traditional constraints, that's fine. But I'm so not okay being told what being a woman should do like it's still the 1950s. Having no ambition. Work or otherwise. I'm all for pursuing a hobby or dream. But if you live to sit around judging others while you do nothing, that is not attractive. Edit. As mentioned previously, I am all for pursuing a hobby or a dream. Ambition does not always refer to a job. It can be pursuing anything a person is interested in. It is the people who choose to sit around judging others while doing nothing themselves that I was talking about. If you want to do nothing, go for it. But don't tell me how to pursue my life's dreams. I am technically pursuing what most people consider a hobby. So I certainly wasn't just referring to work ambition. Sorry for the confusion. But I left my original comment unedited, which clearly states or otherwise followed by hobbies and dreams. Edit 2. Ironically, it is the ones sitting around doing nothing that are always telling me how to make more money. They always have some sort of get rich quick scheme. Or suggestions on how I can make cash on the side. Both essays. People who are socially inept are extremely attractive to me. I love weirdos. Extremely shy people. Socially awkward people. People who are too smart for their own good, causing them to alienate others. People who are just socially oblivious. The list goes on and on. I just like people who seem like they weren't meant for this world, I guess, lol. I think being unable to blend in is very attractive in others. Gets me every time. Edit. Wow, I just realized that I didn't even answer this question correctly. Oops. Thought it said attractive. Not unattractive sigh either way. It seems like it was a happy accident since it seems a lot of you can relate. So I'm gonna leave it up. Dot. Fishing for compliments. Comments and jokes about dick size or saying a dude must have a small dick for blah blah blah. It's annoying. If anyone, man or woman, said something along the lines of she's such a bitch, she must have huge beef curtains, it wouldn't be acceptable. Making fun of anyone for any body part, especially something that can't control either situation, male and female, isn't cool. It's disgusting and unattractive. Habitual weed use. I encourage the decriminalization of marijuana. But holy guys, high isn't supposed to be a personality trait. Treating workers like waiters, cashiers. It really sickens me how many relationships are oh ha 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 I tolerate my stupid useless boyfriend husband. Far too often and see the variation on this, where the husband seems to be a loyal beast of burden in servitude to their wife. I love doing things for my wife. Don't get me wrong. And I love it when she needs me to take care of something. But like, my wife doesn't just expect me to do everything, and actually tries not to just heave every task at me. So many relationships I know are like this. Squeaky little girl voices. Especially if it's on purpose. When a girl takes a selfie, tilted overhead, duck face and or flashing the peace sign. A common trait I hate is exploiting someone's feelings. Come on, man. I told you that so you could comfort me, not to use it against me. If you can't handle me at my worst. Full stop. Full stop. Full stop. Taking too much selfies and fishing for compliments in social media. Thinking that acting antisocial and toxic is empowering or something. Women who think it's attractive to label themselves as a bitch or a. Tattoos. Caked on makeup, where you go to kiss someone's face and get a mouthful of foundation. Or plastic surgery, where the people younger than you end up looking older than you. All end up looking like that same weird person. Making fun of my appearance, even as a joke. It's a giant red flag and I won't date anyone who teases me about it. This one may be a bit controversial, but the flamboyant and gay guys in wouldn't say extremely unattractive, but it's a turn off. I know not all guys are like that, I just find that one trait to not be it for me. I'm gay and this is how I feel too. I have absolutely no problem with people expressing themselves in whichever way they desire, it's just my personal taste. I don't find it attractive. I can be camp sometimes if I'm drinking with the boys or whatever, but I find Queer Eye's Jonathan Van Ness style personalities difficult to be around. I don't see it as a sexuality issue though. Just a personality incompatibility. Likewise, I don't like being around macho guys or girls who are over friendly and bubbly. Again, not saying there's anything wrong with being that way, it's just my personal preference. Casual dating. If I'm going out with you, I'm going out with only you. This whole dating around thing is whack. When people think they don't need to change their rude behavior, I don't have to stop being too sensitive. You should learn how to live in a society. Blaming on their horoscope. Women that refuse to do any kind of labor. I live in the southern US and do a lot of farm work and seen girls half my size kick ass tossing hay bales. And some refuse to do anything because it requires effort or you get dirty doing it, like come the hell on. Really don't like the modern makeup and eyebrow trends with girls where they cake their faces and lips with these weird shades like the Kardashians, where it looks completely fake. And then basically just paint on some absurd eyebrows that don't look remotely real or natural. It's like some weird uncanny valley mannequin. And almost nobody looks good in her with lipstick that has a lighter value than the rest of the normal skin on their face. Is weird. Vanity. Always fishing for compliments and validation of appearance. Not being blunt, straightforward. Not expressing their feelings, holding everything in. Trust in the lives of celebrities. As a gay guy, it's that look. For me it feels like not only are they not interested, but is a little disgusted that you might be interested in them. Or the I've seen you on Grindr but I am not interested so I'll pretend you don't exist and go out of my way to not interact with you 1,000 yards stare. Like, I'm not going to immediately hit on you. And that's just rude. Infidelity. You're not cool bro. You either bitch. Adult Disney women. Shoving your political and or religious beliefs into every conversation about innocuous things. What TV show do we watch is not a loaded question impugning your opinions. Vulgar language. Poor grammar. Limited vocabulary. Thoughtless opinions. Exclamation point. I'm out of the running. Having impossibly high standards when it comes to dating. They can't make a mistake. They can't ever disagree on something. They have to play the victim. Listen, it's impossible to not make mistakes. You're a human. Mistakes are made to learn. And life would be so boring if your so was literally you. I believe that in a relationship both parties should teach each other some new things. If you don't learn anything from this life relationship, it's so pointless to stay. And another thing is pushing your partner away when you feel down. In a way this is because you're afraid of hurting them. But people need to realize that relationship is a team game. Your partner isn't supposed to just sit and watch you suffer. And adding to that, it makes you feel worthless because you're not included. And it hurts. Speaking from experience, I felt like a clothing hanger rather than a girlfriend. Mental illnesses don't make logical decisions. But if you're doing this willingly, please stop. Girls that don't have penises. Get your together. People who ask you to rate them on a scale of 1-10. Scoffing when someone expresses a different viewpoint. Talking too loud with me in public. I get really uncomfortable when there is so much unnecessary attention pointed at me. Like we are having a private conversation here, why the hell do you need to sound like you have a damn megaphone stuck in your throat? And the worst type of person is the one that starts speaking even louder when I tell them if they could speak a bit more quietly. Not keeping up a convo in person or in text. Like I wanna talk for hours, not sit in silence for hours. Trump supporter. Very unattractive. This is likely to go unseen. But for me equality, that's unattractive. Regardless of the gender, is when someone makes their entire life and persona revolve around one singular and often debatable irrelevant thing. Examples are your sexual orientation, if you are a vegan, vegetarian, if you smoke weed, cape, your political affiliation, etc, etc. It just comes off as a cardboard cutout of a person and it bores me to death. Bodily noises. All the men I've dated or even married burp, fart, yawn, chew, smack, slurp way more than women. I don't have misophonia either. I'm just like, why do I have to hear your goddamn farts all the time? Why do you have to make sure I know you're yawning if you're 2 rooms away? Hairy arms on girls. I don't know what it is, but it's just hate to me. Like it isn't a turn off or nothing, and I don't expect you to shave your arms, but it's kinda. Yeah, no idea why this is downvoted. It's a personal preference for you. I dislike men with extremely hairy bodies. And women with mustaches. I would never be attracted to either. All the salty girls downvoting you. It's just a preference. I personally would never date a girl with really hairy arms or legs and a mustache. Vanity, I guess. Like if you go on her Insta or whatever. It's just selfie after selfie after selfie. How can you be that obsessed with yourself? It's bizarre to me. The whole I'm alone and no one understands me thing. Played to and dialed to 11. Some people are socially isolated. I mean, I'm a lesbian in a flyover Midwestern state. I get it. But it's a big red flag if you seriously have no friends or social circle or interests aside from wanting Enso to fix things for you and be your person. People who use The Office in their dating profiles as if it's a personality trait. Purposely making yourself look like you have a low IQ. I can't stand people who think it's cool or funny to look absolutely stupid. Not having any social skills at all. Being down on yourself. I get that everyone has self-doubt sometimes, but when you keep telling me I don't like you, it makes me like you less. Leave the hating to the haters. Don't put yourself down. Overly attached and expecting to be chased. Smelling their perfume without being particularly close to them. It's really gross. And is even worse when a dude walks by and reeks of manly perfume. Sure, it's better than pungent body odor. Women who body shame other men they've been with. Or people you encounter in public. Really anything. Body hair. Looks. The obvious one. Then you just assume you'll be part of that ongoing story in a month or two. And they are almost never at liberty to judge anyone's looks. I get out of Dodge the moment I catch wind of something like that. I have no friends proceeds to talk to friends and post pics of them together on their socials. I'm not like the other girls. They're just like the rest who say the same. Acting thirsty or making sexual innuendos early on. Thinking they're quirky for doing white girl crackhead energy things. Dabs in Walmart. I'm such a CR at KHED. Financial illiteracy. Socialist, communist, fascist. Lack of ambition. Lack of drive. Lack of caring to figure out what they want in life. Martyr complex. Etc. Super defined muscles on a guy. Just creeps me out. Unkempt facial hair. I don't care if a guy is clean shaven. Bearded. Mustachioed. Has huge sideburns. Whatever. Each face is unique and looks good with different things. But I can't stand when a dude just lets it all grow wild without taking care of it. Many of the girls I've dated seem to have a common problem of justifying everything they do wrong. It's honestly really annoying. Letting unchecked emotion dominate over everything. Especially logic. It makes a healthy, meaningful relationship, whether platonic or romantic, almost impossible. Terrible communication skills. On behalf of most of us. Asking for your Snap or Insta when really it's just for followers' sake.